Today, we're going to talk about the fact that PSA CEO is now on the board of GameStop and why I think this is a good thing for the hobby. Now, there will be some pushback, but I think things like this go hand in hand with the stuff I've been asking for over the last 3 or 4 years about creating synergies and more opportunities for consumers. And I think this is one of those, and I think it's a step in the right direction. So I'll share my thoughts on that and then also share some my recent pickups that I got from the US in my recent Ship My Cards order. And there's one pretty cool card in there that I'm super stoked to own. I've not shown anyone yet. Some of these other ones I have mentioned. But there's one card here that I picked up in Sydney yesterday from somebody from China who flew out, and I think it's a must have for my PC. So stay tuned for that. Now, the opening thing to talk to, like I said, will be this news here from Sports Card Madness. They're the individuals who first broke this news. I wasn't aware that this in fact had happened. But Nat Turner, the CEO of PSA, is now named to GameStop's board. And I think this is a really important and pivotal, potentially pivotal, opportunity for the hobby moving forward. Now, what also came out with this information is that Nat is not getting any compensation for being on the GameStop board. And it actually came out that he only owns 10% of Collectors Universe, which is obviously a big bloody company. I think it's like a $4 billion valuation or something along those lines. So clearly a very wealthy individual, but people assumed he owned a little bit more. Now, he is the CEO of PSA, like I said, and he has now joined the board for GameStop. And this is not, anything new really, because PSA already had a partnership with GameStop that we did talk to a couple of months ago about being able to grade cards through GameStop. Select GameStop stores would allow you to grade your cards. And I think this, step from PSA and GameStop is, a step in the direction of maybe doing more together, collaborating more between these two businesses. And, I got a lot of pushback in my last video when I talked about the fact that I liked that grading partnership between PSA and GameStop. And the reason why I liked it is because I felt like it gave people more opportunity to get cards graded, specifically mums and dads for their kids, right? Kids that maybe can't go ahead and submit to PSA themselves because they don't know how, their parents don't know how. Just the ease of benefit of walking into a store you're already going into on the regular to buy video games or whatever it is, that's going to make things easier. And what sort of came out with this information, as was reported by Sports Card Madness, was the fact that it looks like it's about a $2 million partnership so far in terms of profit that has come in. And when you extrapolate that over a 12-month period, it's like a $12 to $15 million partnership. So obviously proving to be pretty successful, especially when you think about the fact it's more than likely new customers, right? People going to GameStop to get cards graded that maybe wouldn't have had things graded in the past. And that goes to all the things I've spoken about on this channel for 3 or 4 years about what can these companies be doing to do better, right? Like we've looked at this industry for quite some time, and I've mentioned it a few times how they're stuck in the past, right? They're happy to charge us all this money, but the offering, the customer service experience, the synergies are not really there, right? They're just giving us a fairly stock standard, service offering that's, the same as what it was 10 years ago, which is, completely unacceptable. And of the companies within this industry, Beckett is obviously the worst, and you can sort of see what's happened to them. So for those reasons, I was really excited to see, the grading news. I know I said in my last video that I wouldn't be using it personally because I don't trust the people at GameStop. I submit things myself. I don't use group submitters. So, go with caution. But I think it's really good for people, like I said, that maybe wouldn't have otherwise gone to an LCS or gone to a show or gone to PSA directly, right? I think it's opening up avenues, which ultimately creates more, value down the line. And I had a lot of pushback off that video because people thought I was praising GameStop as being a really strong company. I know that GameStop is terribly operated. They have terrible customer service experiences. They make issues consistently, and you can go ahead and read this on Reddit if you're not, aware of them. We don't have GameStop here in Australia, but we do have EB Games, which either is still currently owned by the same parent company or at least was previously. So I know firsthand how poor the customer service experience can actually be, which goes to my point from the last video, why I wouldn't be trusting them with my cards to be graded. But like I said, they've reported, pretty high profits so far, and it seems to be working. And that's sort of what I like about this. And, I've been really critical of PSA in the past, but this is the kind of stuff that I think we need to see more of in this industry. I think Nat being on that board now is going to help with collaboration. It's going to help with more synergies. And if you're a customer that goes to GameStop a lot, there might be some opportunity here for you through deals, partnerships, so on and so forth, that you're going to maybe get grading discounts or discounts on video games for doing something that you're already doing, right? If you're already grading with PSA and you're already a customer of GameStop, there's going to be something off the back of this, arrangement with Nat now being on the board that is going to come back and benefit consumers. Now, Ultimately, I think PSA still has a lot of issues, but they're one of the main grading companies in this space, right? I'm going to be an idiot to say you're an idiot for grading with them, or you're an idiot for grading with CGC or SGC, whatever, right? Just do whatever makes sense for you. But these kinds of decisions, I think, are a step in the right direction. And I might get some pushback on that because people expect me to sort of be negative all the time. But something like this could be a really good thing for collectors. And ultimately, that's what I care most about, right? People that collect cards getting more opportunity to buy cards, to get cards graded, to consign cards. And I think this could be a step in the right direction. And maybe GameStop becomes, a sort of chain of, local card stores as well. And, obviously that concerns me a little bit with how that might or might not be vetted and looked after, considering how, poorly GameStop themselves operate. But I'm rambling now. You guys get the point. I think this is another step in the right direction of, benefiting the consumer, which is ultimately what I care about the most, and ultimately where this industry has maybe not cared enough about in the last 3 or 4 years. And I think there are countless examples of why that is the case. And some people will challenge me on that, but I think, in all honesty, the proof is in the pudding with the, archaic offerings they're giving us as customers, right? It's just a joke. So, share your thoughts down below on that one. Maybe I can just quickly show off some of my recent pickups. So a couple of months ago, you would have heard me talk about the fact that I bought a pretty cool card from a local show here in Australia. And then, I got it home, I showed it off, and then some people said there are some serious question marks about the autograph, and it's a known thing, and it is an upper deck card. But I got a bit excited in the last couple of months because this card came back as authentic. So it was the Ian Holm autograph, the guy that plays Ash in the original Alien film. And, when CGC announced their partnership with JSA for cards, I immediately sent this thing and they've signed it off as authentic. So this obviously has a lot of question marks on it. There's a lot of threads on Blowout that I've since commented on as well. This Ian Holm autograph very much looks different to the autographs of the past, but he was quite old in age when he was signing these. So, it could have changed. And what JSA have basically come out and said is that it is an authentic autograph. And you can sort of see there on the label, if it's got a focus, it says authentic autograph in the top right, which I think is pretty damn cool. And there's another, strength in the bow. I don't know what the term is. That's another, arrow in the armory, whatever the saying is for CGC. I had some other cards come back from that same grading submission. This was one of my PC cards. Got a 7. I don't really care about the grade, but it's a 10 of 10. It's the Momentous patch. Dual patch auto of Branislav Ivanovic. Chelsea player. It's got the Chelsea badge in there. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. So pretty happy to get that slab because, like I've said before, CGC protect the submitter and the person ending up buying the card too. If you're submitting to PSA and they've made a mistake, you're not covered by that. So that's why I don't like to use PSA for my PC. I got this one graded as well. This was in that rainbow that I bought. I got an 8.5. I don't really care, but that patch is filthy. I'm pretty disappointed with CGC on this, to be honest, because they put it in the same thickness slab as this, which is like a 200 point. And this one is like 130 point, and the card's like moving in there. So they're going to pay to send that back and fix it, but, pretty disappointing. Some other pickups that you probably haven't seen. I've been on a Lord of the Rings kick lately, so I picked up this. This is from the Fellowship of the Ring set, the first set that Topps released, and it's a piece of movie memorabilia. It's a piece of Frodo's cloak, I think it is. Yeah, Frodo's travel jacket. So this was hit in the hobby boxes off the same seller. I actually bought this because it was like $3 or $4. On-card auto of the guy that played Lochner. I'm not going to pronounce his surname, from The Mummy Returns, which I think is just a pretty cool looking card. I'll chuck that in my dollar box at the next card show and sort of see how things go. But yeah, pretty cool nonetheless. Now, like I said, Lord of the Rings kick. I picked this up from Fanatics Collect recently. It's an Andy Serkis in a PSA 9. I'm probably going to sell this now because I purchased another card that I want to quickly show you. So I need to get my money back. There's a show in Sydney in a couple of weeks. So I'll try and sell it down. I've got a table. So if you are around in Sydney, come check it out. But these cards are notoriously hard to grade. A PSA 9 is a really good grade for that. So trying to build the Fellowship of the Ring set, that's from the Two Towers release, but Gollum wasn't in the first set. And I think if you're building an autograph set for Lord of the Rings, it makes sense to get Gollum considering how integral his character is. Now, in terms of the actual first set, Fellowship of the Ring, this is Christopher Lee in a PSA 9, very low pop, very notoriously hard card to grade, but I've shown that one off in a recent video in terms of on screen. I've now got it in hand. Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. So another card from a recent grading submission, 8.5. This is an ultra rare from the film card set for Dragon Ball Z. I was expecting it to grade a little bit higher, but it is what it is. I'm going to try and sell that at the same show that I mentioned a bit earlier. And then I picked up these two Kobe's actually. Select 2013-14, my all-time favorite, set of any sport. And I got these, the white hot and the red hot for Kobe in an 8.5 and an 8, because I'm trying to build that set, and I'm trying to get as many Kobe's as I can from this set, to be honest. And the purple pulsars are easily the best insert from that set, in my opinion. They're out of 99 most of the time, and you can sort of see they're the best refraction. I think the white hot's the best one as well. But, I'm probably going to keep them. But again, I bought this card that I'm about to show you. That might mean I need to sell a few things because it was pretty expensive. But this is probably one of the best cards in my PC now. It is a flawless soccer card, and it is an Andrea Pirlo Soul of the Game. 8 of 10. It's a Soul of the Game, so boot relic plus the on-card auto. You guys will know that the Soul of the Games are the best thing within that set, at least in my opinion. These people play the sport with their feet, so having a relic that's touched the ball in a game they may or may not have scored with or given an assist with, I think is a no-brainer. So I had a gold of his in the top of the class insert, so I'm going to sell that to help fund this. But, I think that's freaking awesome. Obviously, I'm Italian. Pirlo is easily one of the best midfielders of all time, so no-brainer. I'm trying to get as many Soul of the Games as I possibly can, and, super stoked with that one. So I've rambled a lot. Let me know your thoughts, in particular on that PSA news. Let me know which of my cards you thought was the best pickup. This Pirlo, it's just so friggin' nice to have in hand. I love the fact that I've got it. There's some emeralds that have sold recently, the out of 5s, maybe $300 or $400 more than what I paid for this, but I think the golds are the ones to buy. So anyway, that's sort of it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.